What's going on, guys? Leave a comment. What's going on, Werner? What's up, Werner? Yeah, that's right. That's right, Werner. You got to wait 20 seconds to send your next one. Ask a question. Let me see. I'm letting Instagram know also. Ask questions, guys. Ask questions. Ask questions. I'm just letting Instagram know. Thanks, Henry. All right, I let Telegram know. Telegram knows. Now I'm letting Instagram know. Ask questions. Ask questions. Give the live stream a like and ask a question. Give the live stream a like and ask a question. I'm letting Instagram story know. Instagram story. Ask questions. I'll look at your questions. Ask questions. Ask questions. What's going on, guys? Just posting this to my story. All right. What's going on, guys? Ask questions. All right, I just posted in my story. Give the live stream a like and ask a question. Werner, that's right, you're number one, Werner. And El Noor, I recognize your name. Ahmad, Henry, Irna, Irina, not Irna. Sinetabeb, what's going on? Ayesha, how do you do immunology? We have an immunology PDF. Okay, so immunology PDF on the free stuff tab and also the immunology playlist on the YouTube here. Do that. Ask questions. Asma, NBME 26 and 27, 75%. You want to give your exam after 2 weeks? Perfect. Okay, I said yesterday in the live stream you want 68% on 3+ NBMEs. AI asks, are you currently working as a doctor in Japan? Bro, I'm a business owner. I own a business. Like, you think I'd waste my time in a hospital? Like, why would I waste my time doing that? Azim Khan asks, what do you think of giving step 1 and step 2 in 1 week? That's not a good idea unless you don't care what you get on step 2. Because if you give like 3-4 months between step 1 and step 2, you can obviously max out your score in step 2. Abraham, Akara Dolu, what's going on? All right, so Werner, you asked a question now. You have about a month and a half left for the USMLE prep, and you are averaging 58% NBMEs. You're not ready. You're not ready. And I'd want to sit down with you, obviously, and talk to you about like what your specifics are. How far can you push the exam back? Stuff like that. If you can't push the exam back, you're not ready. But you'd have to do NBMEs 20 through 31 in the final 3-ish weeks. And we want NBME 65 to pass step 1 and 68 plus and 3+ NBMEs for safety. But 58 is not enough. Priya, and ask another question, like more specific. I'll scroll down to it. Priya, what's going on? How are you doing? I love your Anki deck. Just wanted to know what should be an average timeline for step 1. It depends for the person. I would say 3 months. You can get it done because you'd want to get it. Basically, what you're going to do is get QBank done, our PDF/Anki done, the YouTube content done, and NBME's 2031 and free 120. That's what you got to do for step 1. So, but if you're scoring 68 plus in the NBMEs, you can just sit. But you're looking at like 3 months minimum for most people. Yasiel, thank you for everything you do. Guys, if you're coming to the live stream, give it a like. Ask a question. Yasiel Hernandez. Mohammed Sal, how likely to jump from 57 to 66 on CBSE? Doable. People do that all the time. Okay, I would say about a month. That's not a big deal, 57 to 66. Like 47 to 66 is like minimum 2 months. It's like 10% per month is fast. Warda, hello, your step 1 is tomorrow. Good luck. Good luck. I hope you're getting 68 plus on the NBMEs. Mariam Emter, can you explain Hardy Weinberg? Do the genetics PDF. If you do our free genetics PDF on the free stuff tab, we do tons of Hardy Weinberg in there. We do tons of Hardy Weinberg questions in there. They're harder than step 1. So because I don't have P = 1 for a lot of the questions, that's why. So it's annoying for some, but it's harder. But if you do the genetics PDF, you'll know all the Hardy Weinberg. All right, Henry, you said, is there a specific way to know which drugs and bugs are exclusive for step 1 on micro and farm module material? Well, you got to know everything. The way it works is that if you don't study it, it's going to show up. It always works this way. If you decide, I'm not going to waste my time with all of like the viral structures and the worms and the parasites and all this stuff, you're going to get like 4 questions on like each of those topics. And then if you do study all of it and you spend the time, then it's not going to show up. That's how it always works. Boyan. The chat moved on me, Boyan. You say you saw an Insta post on promoting social media content. Dude, I got like 50 DMs on that. So if you send me a DM, I'm not like ignoring you. It's like I literally got 50 DMs and I like regretted that it was like still in my story. But we want to make social media content. Yeah. Like I'm the one who does all the questions. Like I write all those questions. But like we need like, you know, it's like if you're a female who can like dance, that's the shit that like I'm not into that like TikTok garbage stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if you want to make a post where you're like dancing with our QBank and like you're like Mehlman QBank, I'm dancing this morning. Like make a post, put our like logo in there and like send me like an example of it, and like we can actually it can be lucrative if you're good, because like that's the stuff we want. Sareth Gola, I'm doing UWorld now. I want to give exam in 3 months. What should be my plan? Well, you should be doing Mehlman QBank, not UWorld, first of all. So step 1.mehlmanmedical.com, step 2.mehlmanmedical.com, step 3.mehlmanmedical.com. You're gonna do our QBank. I mean, if you're locked in, I get it. If you already like have a subscription for something else, finish the QBank, then do the NBMEs. And as long as you're getting 68 plus the NBMEs, right? 3+ NBMEs, that's what you need. Kushbo, you commented about you're the one. You commented about Biostats video, and you got to reply. But can you clarify in what course you? I see all your comments, by the way, on the YouTube. Thank you. I see all your comments. I was just saying that like we have a good biostats course, and I've made a lot of questions there, and there's modules there. So people who do the course, they're rewarded with all of that versus like me putting out biostats on YouTube. And by the way, it's not like me just being like an asshole and I'm putting it behind a wall. It's because people will request biostats and ethics, and then you don't think I see the analytics. Like I'll put out a biostats course, and then it will get a clip on the YouTube, and it will get like half the views. And it's not a problem, but it's like it's like you guys don't want biostats, you don't want ethics. You say you do, you guys lie. You don't want that because you don't click into those clips. Click into the clips, then I'll put out more. Raja, how to boost step 2 CK NBME scores in the last 2 weeks. I mean, the last 2 weeks, you should be hardcore on NBME 6 through 15 and free 120. It should just be NBME review pretty much. Like, can you look at like our rapid review in the PDFs? Like, absolutely, sure. But you should basically be on the NBME exams in the final 2 weeks. El Noor, does your QBank compete with UWorld now? No, I think the question is, does UWorld compete with our QBank? And the answer is no. Like content wise, I mean, but UWorld has 2 decades of branding, and it will take 3 to 4 years for people to warm up to our QBank the same way it took 3 to 4 years for people to warm up to the PDFs over FA. Like at first, everyone's like, fuck Mehlman's PDFs, do FA. That was like 4 years ago. And now like people are doing the PDFs. And I think it'll take like 3, 4 years for the QBank. But right now you're getting a lot of people who talk shit. And that's okay. That's normal. I see that as normal. But do your QBank, whatever you're doing. And then Doha. Hey, Dr. Mike, you want to take a beta blocker during the exam because of anxiety, not concentrating enough. Was there a question in there? Abraham, NBMEs for step 2 in the 220 range. How can your Anki deck help me break 250s? Do the Anki deck. Yes, do the Anki deck. And just do lots of questions from our QBank. I don't know what your timeline is. You didn't write it in there, but like step2.mehlmanmedical.com, do our QBank. Knock it out in a month. It's only 2450, 2,500 questions-ish right now. We think that's a good amount. We're not into this 4K nonsense. It's like a strong, dense, good 2,500. Knock it out in like a month and do the Anki deck. Werner, how do you integrate the flashcards into prep? You just got the Anki recently. It depends. I'd have to sit down with you as far as like what your specifics are. I mean, there's anecdotes across the spectrum. I've got people who've done like Anki 12 hours a day, our cards, and their scores have shot up. And there's other people where I might have you do 40 to 80 QBank questions per day, and then I have you do Anki in the evenings. So there's a spectrum, right? I'd say minimum, you just gotta, minimum 4 hours a day on the Anki though. Your study days should be minimum 8 hours a day. Par deep. Which NBMEs to do before CBSC and then before step 1? And should we do free 120 before step 1 or CBSC? Before CBSC, you could do NBMEs 20 through 27. And then after CBSC, before your step 1, you could do 28 through 31. You could do that. And should you do free 120 before step 1 or CBSC? You can do free 120 after CBSC before step 1. So you could do like 20 through 27. And then after you take CBSC and pass it, you'll redo 20 through 27 again. Don't care about your scores because you already took them and you'll get like 85, whatever. Then you'll do free 120, then you'll do 28 through 31. If you're not doing CBSC, then I would just do 20 through 24, free 120, then 25 through 31 in that order. Some people get very emotional about doing free 120 last. I disagree with that, okay? But the questions are all the same. It's not a big deal. It's just, it's a grandmother myth, the notion of doing free 120 last as though the questions are more accurate. They're not. We could have you sit NBME 3, for example, which I did online in July 2012, and you wouldn't even know the difference. Ahmad Ali Khan Momand. What's your advice for score boost step 2 in the final month? 6 through 15, free 120, and also the CMS forms. Bust out like internal medicine, surgery, FM, bust out those forms. Sama Hani, my NBMEs are 40%. Can I reach 70 in a month? No. And pass the exam? No. You need, if you're at 40%, you need 3 months. 10% per month is good. So if you were like, did everything perfect, and in 1 month, you're scoring 50%, I'd be like, that's good. And then, yeah, so 10% per month is like target. Azad, Manda, you're 1 week out, NBMEs 29, 30, 31 are 72, 70, 1.5, 68. Good. You didn't drop on NBME 31. It was coincidental. Had you done the reverse order, done 31, 30, then 29, you would have watched yourself go up every single time. Okay, so it was coincidental. You didn't drop. Amir asks, how to get ready for long question stems on the Real Deal. I've made video clips on this. Guys, give the video a like, by the way. I've made clips on this. If you get a long stem, glance at the answer choices first, glance at the last couple lines, And if you still can't get the answer, glance all around the vignette like it's a wordless collage, just looking for keywords. If you still can't get the answer, then start from the beginning. The worst thing you can do if you get a long question is to start from the beginning, saying a 32-year-old woman comes to, like, don't do that. Like, go backwards with long stems. Rashad, hello, Mike. 6 weeks to go. Still got 5,000 cards left in my deck. I'm trying to go through them ASAP. It's taking me a while. Any advice? Just do it. Just study more. Just procrastinate less. Just do it. Focus on the day by day. Focus on like the daily goal of just like being productive, and it will come together. Azim Kone, you say it is me again. No need to say your name. Parallel prepping for both steps and giving in 1 week. Bad idea. Yeah, it is a bad idea. Is there microbiology high yield? We've got micro modules. We've got the Anki for micro. Dr. K, step 1's in 10 days, NBME 65 to 70, mostly due to overthinking, underconfidence. Can you give some tips for the last 10 days? Yeah, just consolidate around the NBME, as I said. Just make sure you have 20 to 31 done. Just review those as much as you can. Do high yield arrows PDF as well. Uzair Khalid, hey Mike, how to not get overconfident after getting high NBMEs? You want to revise my PDFs again, but you're lazy after 80 plus NBMEs. Just sit the step. You could literally sit today. Just sit it. You need a 65 to pass. Chat moved on me. Scrolling back up. Okay. Kevin Youngle, what's going on, dude? You said you got it on UWorld self-assessment 65, NBME 26, 73, NBME 20, 71. Planning to take step 1 in 1 month. Good. Just focus on the NBME scores, not the self-assessment score. Just focus on NBME. Rex Crop, step 2 at the end of this month. Missed 66. You missed 66 on NBME 11. Try to get 240 or over. Making dumb mistakes. Advice on test taking strategies, and in my opinion, is 240 plus by August 31st. Yeah, I mean, just go by the NBMEs, dude. So take 9, 10, 12 to 15, see how you go on those NBMEs. If you're not happy with your score, then you'd have to remediate and take more time. But yeah, I don't know what your baseline is, because you just said you got 66 wrong in NBME 11, but you didn't tell me what your actual 3-digit score was on it. Reese, 40 UWorld. You're doing 40 questions per day in UWorld. You're going through, you're searching through my PDFs. You want to do the Anki, but UWorld takes the whole day. What should you do? Well, you should do our QBank, not like what you're doing. Step1.mehlmanmedical.com. Syed Nazir Sadat, just NBME 30 and 31 and free 120, still unused. I don't know what your question is, Syed. Sinet Tabeb, you said you want to ask, there's been a noticeable shift in the content or difficulty level of USMLE Step 2 CK questions recently, question mark. Some people who scored high in the NBME practice exams are reporting lower. It can happen that you score lower, but the NBMEs don't lie. Okay, the NBMEs don't lie. So whatever your NBME scores are, I mean, that's what you would have scored on the NBME or on the real USMLE had you sat it that day. Okay, the NBMEs don't lie. So you can have a bad day. It's possible. There's anecdotes. Those are the people who are going to post. Remember that. Like, no one like gets on Reddit and is like, hey, everyone, I scored 246 and my NBMEs were 246, right? Like, people will post if there's like an issue or like some sort of like aberration that they perceive. Mohammed Hamdi, how to navigate through QBank alongside PDFs. Well, you should be doing them concurrently. So you can do QBank untimed tutor random blocks of 10, 40 to 80 per day, and then you can do the PDFs in the evenings. RTC, your risk factor PDF is gold, bro. Step 1 has been all risk factor cues these days. That's like over emphasized. It's like People are, I think that's like maybe a false perception sort of thing, right? Like people are talking about that, but it's probably not even the case. Like, honestly, I mean, basic risk factors, like do the risk factors PDF, but don't like freak out that there's like this overrepresentation of risk factors or something. Alexandra, should you do, this is funny. How's this? Should you do UWorld QBank after you finish Amboss QBank, or is that overkill? Bro, do you know we just put out QBanks, or is that like a troll? There was some dude who messaged me on Instagram today who didn't know that we launched QBanks. And it's like, okay, I mean, like I did launch videos. It was in my stories. It was in Telegram group. Like, I mean, some people just, it doesn't hit them. That's probably good news if you're like not connected to all that stuff. Maybe that's a good thing. Step1.mehlmanmedical.com. Step2.mehlmanmedical.com. Step3.mehlmanmedical.com. Microbiology high yield. TJ the dog. Massive congrats on the QBank launch. Any work updates on new existing PDF? The PDFs we don't really need to work on right now. Like they're mature. They're pretty mature. Like, right? Like we're focused on more QBank stuff right now. That's what we're on, like different projects now. Saran Kumar. Thanks. Thanks, Saran Kumar. Same. Thanks, Same. Thank you. That's right, Carla. You retract that message. That's right. That's right, Rupanshu. That's right. You retract that message. That's right. RTC. When your shelf QBank drops, not QBank, QBanks. Which QBank should we prioritize doing? So we're dropping, within the next 3 months, we're going to drop 8 shelf QBanks of 1,000+ questions each. Okay. EM, FM, IM, Surge, Peds, Obs-Gyn, Neuropsych. We're going to drop those shelf QBanks to do alongside 2CK and 3 main QBanks. But in terms of, you would do that during rotations, exactly. So if you're on Peds rotation, you would do the Peds shelf QBank that we put out. You would do our 2CK QBank that you're in, and you could do those subject specific as well, it's fine, or just stay in random mode. You would do the CMS forms for Peds, and then you would do the Peds PDF, Peds YouTube playlist in your downtime. That's what you do. You'd ace Peds. Werner, you've plateaued at 58%. You're planning on getting my QBank. How many questions do you recommend per day? 40 to 80. You'll grind them out in 2 weeks if you have to. In 2 weeks, then you'd be doing like 120 a day. You don't have to annotate from QBank. You don't have to take notes. So if you just blast through QBank, like that's fine. Give the live stream a like, guys. The honored one. What's going on? All right, Rupanshu, I see your message now. Which PDF will you recommend except for high yield arrows for your USMLE step 1? All the PDFs, bro. Are you saying which ones to prioritize? I would say arrows you want to do, high yield endocrine, high yield pathology. Those are key ones. People obviously rave about like immuno, neuroanatomy, biochem, those, but like that's because we nailed the content in difficult subjects. But for pass level, I'd say you want to do high yield pathology, high yield endocrine, high yield arrows. John D, good day. Wanted to know if your Anki deck you provide is under free stuff. No, bro, it's not free. Anki deck's not free. But you want to be mindful that if like people try to backdoor sell you Anki decks, there's a lot of fake like Anki decks. Like people have made Anki decks of my stuff that are not my decks. And people are like, this is an erratum in this card. I'm like, it's not my fucking deck, bro. So it's like, number one, audacity, you're coming to me with what you think is my deck when you didn't pay for it. And number two, the fact that it's not my deck is like laughable. So it's like, just do the free PDFs. If you're worried about price because you're poor, just do the free PDFs. Carla, if you fail step 1 and you wasted all the NBMEs, how can you know if you're ready to retake? You can do, did you do 20 through 24 offline also? And if you already did, do 20 through 31, then you can do 19 and earlier. You can do those. What's up, Siddiqui? Kamran. Thanks, Kamran. Emmanuel. Good to see you. Omanita, you feeling depressed when you do NBMEs? Feels like you keep forgetting things. How to improve retention? I don't want you taking notes or making your own self-Anki. I don't want you doing that. I think this is key. This could be some value for some of you. You're not supposed to remember everything you study. That's not how it works. Like if you do like a QBank question, or you do like, you read something in like a PDF page, you're not supposed to remember like 90% of it. That's not how it works. You're supposed to remember like 20 to 25% of it. But because you're doing things on repetition so many times over, that you retain bits and pieces, and over time, it agglomerates to the point where you know enough to pass. That's how it works. So don't worry about like forgetting things. Just continue with the content and stay consistent and put in hours, and things will add up over time. Sama, hi Mike, how long do I need to improve my NBME from 40 to 65? 2.5 months. And can you do it in 1 month, you're asking? No. The only way you could do it in 1 month is if that 40 was not actually where you sat. Like if there was a catch somehow. Esther, biostats modules are really great. Those have been very, very helpful. Thank you. Thank you, Esther. Good to see you as well. Abraham, NBME scores average on 20 to 24, 63. Do you perceive 25, 31? No. I've said that I want to see a 65 plus on 22 upward for you to proceed. 63 is borderline. In your case, it's not cookie cutter, right? So like what you could do is sit NBME 25. We'd say, all right, look, I'll compromise with you. We could have you sit NBME 25, but if you do not pass, if you don't get a 65, I don't want you going to 26. Okay, so you'd be like, well, I really just want to sit the NBME. So I'll be like, cool, we'll get 65 plus, and then we don't have to have like the conversation about you going back to QBank. But if you don't score 65 on 25 upward, you need to go to QBank, back to QBank for a month. But you would just do Mehlman QBank, step1.mehlmanmedical.com, and then you would bust through that in 3 weeks to a month. And then your scores, a month, and then your scores would be where they need to be. Ibrahim, you're asking, you said you got Amboss, and you're asking if it's as good as UWorld. Well, you're out of the loop, Ibrahim. You're out of the loop. I know who you've been listening to. It's not how you prep for step one. You're out of the loop, Ibrahim. Corey Henderson, applying to med school soon. You're down in Houston, Texas. You recently started watching my vids. Top tier, thanks for great content. That's cool, Corey. USMLE Ordi, that's like the 5th time you've asked about microbiology high yield PDF. We have microbiology modules, and it's a course, and we have Anki on micro. And there's also great micro in our QBank. It's one subject, okay? Like we have lots of subjects that are free. Amir, you already asked, answer that question. Dan S, will the new ECFMG platform change anything? I'm not an expert on that. Siddiqui, you're interested in my content, but you're wondering what to do to get better on my test. What is your question, Siddiqui? Omanita, can you do more neuroanatomy questions on YouTube? I can. I don't think you guys want that really, but I can. I think people kind of freeze up on like hard subjects like that, but I can. Arun Kumar, you're done with step 2 today. Thanks. I think, yeah, that's good, man. Congrats. Luis Vargas, how should you balance step 1 studying with block coursework? Your dedicated study period starts in January. Well, you could do our QBank subject specific while you're going through your coursework. So if you have, let's say, well, there's 2 methods, okay? The first is you could do let's say if your cardio quiz is in, let's say, 2.5 weeks, you could do the cardio playlist on the YouTube, subject specific. You could do the cardio PDF, subject specific. Clearly, it's a PDF. And then you could do like Mehlman QBank in random mode. You could do that. That's one way to do it. Another way is to like actually do our QBank in subject specific. But I've said I like QBank in random mode for people. So I would do QBank in random, and then simultaneous to doing our QBank in random mode, I would do the PDF in cardio. I would do the YouTube playlist in cardio. That's your subject specific, quote unquote, alongside random QBank. Werner, you're asking how to get in contact with me to discuss further. Instagram DM. Instagram DM. You're planning to do DS123 WER. UWorld 75 plus, completed CMS forms, planning to do all the Anki before NBMEs. Is that good? Oh, that's fine. Do this. Yeah, you said you did the CMS forms. Yeah, I mean, you'll score higher on the NBMEs if you do the Anki. Kushbu, thank you for the information. Where can I access Buy the Biostats course from? Our website, Mehlmanmedical.com. Also, you love the content creation, so you'll reach out to me on Instagram. Hopefully you like my work. Definitely reach out. Siddiqui, do we have tutoring programs for students or not? We do. That's on our website. Like, our team is way more available than I am. Like, I'm not very available. Our team's available. You have to pay a lot of money to get access to me. Rick and Morty, passed step 1 on March. In March, used my PDFs. Okay. And the chat just moved at me. So, oh, Hits, you donated money and then you retracted your message. Why'd you do that? I would have given your message priority, unless it was there and I just didn't see it. I apologize. But if you did a super comment, I would have answered that. Let me see. Where was I? Like, I want to go in order on this, like, on this feed here. RTC, when your shelf QBank drops, I think I saw that already. Okay. So I'm just like really OCD. Okay, Yasiel Hernandez, you've completed about 500 MCQs on my YouTube. Was there a question with that? If Abudu's 94, if you have 4 hours daily free, what is the good time? What is the good time for USMLE step 2? What is your question? Big D, taking step tomorrow. Good luck. Daniela, thanks for being a member. You're in green, so I know you're a member. Hi, Mike. Is the NBME way? Is the NBME? I don't know what that is. Your question. I'd have to look into that. Medno, what's going on? Okay, so Abraham, you're asking your timeline for step 2 in 2 months. Can't get any more. Your QBank, you said 220 range. You're still asking about getting into the 250s in 2 months. It's possible, man. Just make sure you really hammer out I would bust through our QBank, honestly, in like a month. That's what I would do. I'd bust through Mehlman's QBank. Bust through it. Like 100 plus questions a day, bust through it. You can get through it in like 25 days. And then just like pound like internal medicine, surgery, CMS forms, do NBME 6 through 8, free 120, then 9 through 15. Like, do that. Someone surfing the web asks, hey, Dr. Mike, I hope all is well. Your NBMEs for step 1 were 80% plus. Do you think it is feasible for me to get a 270 in 2CK if I study my resources for a year? The answer is yes. Bashar Omari, redoing NBMEs for 2CK 9 through 12. If you did them 45 months ago, how to build endurance and not panic when taking the NBMEs. I've talked about like how not to panic and how not to get anxiety is the fact that like it's a screening mechanism, that it's never an excuse, because it's not just learning information for the USMLEs, but it's being able to have a calm mental state, right? So if you get anxiety and that impedes on your performance, that weeds you out, because we need people who can perform under pressure. USMLE ORD, can we rely on flashcard alone? Maybe, but I wouldn't. I would still be doing questions in our PDFs and stuff. There's anecdotes of people who do like one isolated aspect of our like content and they do well, but like it's not, I wouldn't like recommend that as a blanket strategy, you know? Paulo, is it possible to go from a 203 on NBME 10 to a 240 plus in 2 months? Maybe, but like, I'd want to know more about like how much QBank did you get through? Have you done any other NBMEs? Like what your situation is? I'd want to basically like assess how fickle your scores could have been. That's like what I'd want to assess. DS123WER, what is the best way to go through Mehlman PDFs for step 2? It depends. Like if you're post-grad, I would just go through the Mehlman PDFs simultaneous to QBank and random mode in the evenings. And if you're on rotations, you're just going to read that PDF when you can throughout the rotation. That's what you do. But don't save the PDFs for last. That's the point. Abudu's 94. If you have 4 hours a day free time for studying, what is the good time for booking USMLE step 2? I mean, I don't know what your situation is, but like 3 to 4 months to study for step 2. But 4 hours a day is like, it's not a lot. I'm assuming you're working part-time or something, or you got clinic or something going on. But you'd want to just make sure you get through Mehlman QBank, and you'd want to get through the CMS forms, and you'd want to get through 6 through 8 free 120 and 9 through 15 NBMEs. Wassam asks, can I just read Q&A from my PDFs, the bullets you're talking about? I would do the tables. If you're in like rapid review phase, like you can do the bullets, but like if you're like earlier in your prep, especially, like I would do the tables. Like the tables are the most updated. They're really good. Abraham, asking for a friend, 20 to 24. So why do people preface like that? Like clearly you're asking about yourself. You're not asking for a friend. It's you. You're the one who got a 20. You're the one who got 63% 20 to 24. Because you asked the same question further out, but it wasn't about a friend. It was about you. So now all of a sudden it's about a friend. It's not about a friend. It's not about a friend. It's about you. Don't be shy. Abraham, don't be shy. It's okay. Your scores are fine. It's okay. Dennis, what's an indisputable score 2CK for US IMG? I don't know what you're asking, man. You're asking like what is a mandatory floor if you're applying as an IMG? You just need to pass. That's all. You just need to pass. You can match. You just need to pass. Paula, you said, by the way, I'm doing your QBank for 2 weeks for step 2. You did 20% of questions randomly, scoring 73. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Don't worry about your percentage in QBank, by the way. Just get through the QBank, and then we'll see how you go on the NBMEs. Bashar Omari, after how many days should you sit your exam after your desired score of 2C after you get your desired score for step 2? Are you asking like after you get your desired score on the NBME, how many days after should you sit? The answer is like soon. Just make sure that you can corroborate that score with other NBMEs. Like if you get like a 252 and you want a 250 plus, just make sure you can repeat that score on other NBMEs, and then you're fine to just sit. Bran, great fucking movie. Dude, Pulp Fiction is a great fucking movie. It is a great fucking movie. Mojal, hi, Mike. I am from Sudan. You regularly join your live chat in the past. Just want to thank you. I passed step 1 with my advice. It's good to hear, Mojal. KU5H, you just got a 75%, NBME 29. And your step 1 is in 2 weeks. How do you further improve your chances on the real deal? By the way, your videos and PDFs help me a ton. 75% is really high. Okay, so you just need a 68 plus. That's what we want as a buffer, so you're fine. Just continue reviewing the NBME content. Make sure you get through high-yield arrows. You can do our rapid reviews as well. Just focus on NBMEs and keep doing like 8 hours a day minimum of study right now. Chuck Lamb, you're asking, sorry if this has been asked before, but with Amboss and UWorld being so established, what is unique about your QBank? That's interesting that you would think I need to qualify. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to like sell you my fucking shit as if I need to like qualify. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do our QBanks. Like, that's the best case scenario is like, don't do Mehlman QBank. Don't let other people do Mehlman QBank. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're much more targeted. That's the thing. We're much more targeted, much more updated, much more focused on NBME content. It's not superfluous. It's not garbage. You realize it's just marketing and branding. You know that, right? That's all it is. Delete, how to study biostats for step 1. Is your PDF enough? Biostats PDF is fine. But I would do the biostats course because we've got modules there with quizzes as well and extra questions with audios, double audios. Okay, so for each of those biostats questions I've written, there's double audios. I give a 3 to 5 minute audio similar to what I do on the YouTube. And then under that, I have a sub 60-second audio called cut to the chase audio. Okay, so you get 2 audios per biostats question on our course. That's like the most updated. That's really good stuff. That's premium stuff. Sebastian, hi, Dr. Mike. I'm an MD on my first year. What should I use from your resources, QBank, YouTube, PDFs? Well, we've said the 4 things you have to do, right? The 4 things: QBank, number 1. Number 2, Mehlman PDFs, Anki. Number 3, obviously, the YouTube questions. Number 4, the NBMEs. Amir, is it true that it's impossible to fail if you get all NBMEs over 70 under strict examination conditions? Well, it would be unlikely because you got a high N value, right? If you're sitting all the NBMEs, you have consistency over 70. Like, why would you fail? You know, there's always a catch. If someone were to fail, there'd be a catch. There'd be like one NBME where you got like a 61. It's like, well, that raises concern. Sama. You say, what can I do? I really don't know where to continue. I mean, no matter how much I study, still new questions appear, difficult ideas. So I feel like NBMEs will always be constant. What is your question in there? It sounds like you're in like an emotional turmoil. Just stay focused. That's what you have to be. Sama. Mohammed Khalaf. Is CMS NBME 9 to 15 Mehlman IM just enough to score 260 plus in late stage prep? If you do all the CMS forms, the 45 plus forms, and you do, I would do 6 through 15 in free 120, not just 9 through 15. And Mehlman IM PDF, yeah. I mean, the IM PDF is dense, but yeah, do that. That's enough. That's enough. Christine Jeremiah, you got 50% QBank, 58 on last NBME, now almost done videos. Your step 1's in 2 months. Well, the resources you've done, everything you've listed is none of our resources. You've listed like 5 resources that aren't ours. So, like, have you done our YouTube clips? Have you done the PDFs at all? Definitely at a minimum, go through high-yield arrows, high-yield endocrine, high-yield pathology. Asil Adel Ahmed. You're asking about vitamin D deficiency. It's a good question. Asel, Ahmed. Dan asked, you already asked that. I said you just need to pass. Alexandru, you're saying sorry you didn't know about the QBank. Was a genuine question if doing too many QBanks is worth it or not before I start NBMEs. Just do one QBank. That's all you gotta do before NBMEs. Jody Singh. You joined late just now, but wanted to say, love your new QBank. Thanks, Jody. You definitely felt your understanding increase and score jump my recent NBME. Thanks, Jody. That's good to hear, too. Thanks, Tausif. Bashar, is it possible to improve from 240 to 260 a month? Maybe. I think I answered that already. Tornik, UWSA 1, 63%. NBME 21, 70.5%. NBME 25, 68.5%. Should you wait to improve to 80%? 68 plus is fine, a sit step. Someone did a super comment. I'm gonna check that out. Thanks, Yana. Where was I? Akram, hello, Dr. Mike, 67%, NBME 22. How can I bring my score up to 75, 80? And I'd want to know when your USMLE is. That's what I'd want to know. Because I don't have enough information there. Ahmed, hey Mike, got my exam end of next month. You're finished halfway with UWorld. Do you think I should start NBMEs now or should I finish more UWorld? If your exam's at the end of September, you should pretty much do QBank for like another 3 weeks before you start the NBMEs. Nag19S, hey Mike, give me some tips for step 1 in 45 days. And what about the material? Well, the terminal 3 weeks should be NBMEs. Okay, so you're talking like 3.5 weeks, which could be on QBank. That's what you could do. You could literally bust out Mehlman QBank in like 3 weeks. Just do like 120 questions a day or something. Don't take notes or anything. Just bust through the QBank, then go into the NBMEs. You could do that. Nag19. John D. A month out before exams, what would be a good approach going through my PDFs and also before or after NBMEs? Definitely do the PDFs before the NBMEs. The worst thing you can do is do the PDFs late. You want to do the PDFs early. Jenny, hey Mike, I'm using your Anki decks to study for CBSE, but it takes me a long time to get through them. CBSE exam 2 weeks. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a comprehensive resource, but just do the best you can. A lot of people have done those Anki decks going into the CBSE and they've nailed it. A lot of people. Jorge Mendoza. You had a question to CBSE about a man with bag of worms, but when he went to the doctor, the bag of worms was gone from his varicocele, and the question was to do the Valsalva maneuver or not. That's like weird. That's a little weird. That's a little weird, Jorge. That's weird, Jorge. Dr. Mehdi, how to do bundle high-yield Anki cards. What are you asking? You're asking how to do the Anki cards? Abhinav, got them. Hey Melvin, I gave my step 1 and flagged 10 to 11 questions per block, and I believe apart from this, I got 20 questions wrong. Well, I passed step 1. You need a 65% to pass. So I'd want to know how your NBMEs were. Because it's really not about how you feel coming out of the exam. It's about just how were your NBMEs. Because you can feel good coming out and not have a good outcome. You can feel shitty coming out and have a great outcome. So it's really not about how you feel. I just look objectively at your NBMEs. Abdul Aram asks, should I do your PDFs after NBME 25 to prevent score inflation? That's always a good one. That's always a good one. I mean, if you're studying the right content, your scores are supposed to go up. That's how it works, right? So if you prefer to study something else that's not related to USMLE and your scores don't go up, then you can do that. Like, I don't, people find it weird to like study content that actually helps them and their scores go up, and then they're like in disbelief. They think it's like fake. It's like, if you're studying the right stuff, your scores are going to go up. Yes, that's how it works. That's funny, Mac. Maybe, Mac. Maybe. We'll do this like 9 more minutes right now. We'll do the hour. Abhinav Gotham, you say you gave your step 1. I already fucking read that. Rocky, I was studying neuro. Mac, any plans of emergency medicine PDF in the future? Not really. I mean, if you want to study EM, I would pretty much say our QBank. But also, no. This will be a good answer for you. We're gonna have literally an emergency medicine shelf QBank with 1,000+ questions in it, released within 3 months. Okay, and if you were here earlier in the live stream, if you were here yesterday, I've said that in addition to our steps 1, 2 CK, and 3 QBanks, we're going to have 1,000+ question mini shelf QBanks for EM, FM, IM, Surge, Peds, Obs, Gyn, Neuro, Psych, to do alongside 2 CK and step 3. So we're not going to have an EM PDF, but like within 3 months, we'll be saying like, do the EM shelf QBank. And then someone will be like, well, I'm poor, I can't do it. It's like, well, then don't study EM. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? But that's like what it will be. It's kind of like micro. Like, think of it as like the 2CK3 version. Like we don't have a micro PDF, right? We have modules and Anki. Well, for like 2CK3, it's like we don't have an EM PDF, but we'll have other content for it. Tausif Nasser, NBME's 21 to 25 in February. I answered that already. 58 we said wasn't high enough. NBME 26 in June, you got a 64. That was better, but it's been a long time since June. So I'd want to know what scores you have since then. And if you don't have scores since then, I'd be like, what have you been doing? Unique Desire asks, hey, Mike, is enough to score 50 to 65% per discipline in systems first run through in QBank? I wouldn't be concerned about you're asking about AMBOSS and URL. That's the wrong starting point, Unique Desire. That is the wrong starting point for this conversation. Okay? That's the wrong starting point for this conversation. Do you know why it's the wrong starting point for this conversation? Because we've got Mehlman QBanks. That's why it's the wrong starting point. Go to step2.mehlmanmedical.com. Rockley, you say you haven't studied neuro and repro in college. Your focus should your focus be on the PDFs? Well, yeah. I mean, do the neuro PDF, do the neuroanatomy PDF, do the repro obs-gyn PDF. Yasiel Hernandez, Dr. Mike, about 1.5 months out from step 1, you're starting work on NBME's 20 to 31 and continuing on Anki. Would you suggest working through QBank simultaneously? I would knock out the QBank within 3 weeks. That's what I would do. If you're 6 weeks out, I would pretty much demolish our QBank within 3 weeks, 3 to 3.5 weeks. And then you could do 20 to 31. Do it all. Do it all. Study 12 hours a day. Do it all. And then in 6 weeks, you'll be done. You can rest. Someone do a super comment? Daniela, thanks. Thank you, Daniela. Where was I? Manita, just want to say thank you for all YouTube video series. Werner Fernandez, I don't have issues focusing or studying 12 hours a day. I'll do anything I have to. I feel like your world has tailored my understanding towards long length explanations of unclear concepts. In our 2CK QBank, we've put some very long stems in there, like very, very long stems, like trolling length stems, where you're like, what the fuck is going on right now? This question is so fucking long. But there's some questions that are like super, super, super fucking long. Okay. Usually if it's very, very long, it's easy. Like you could look at the last line and then like the answer's there. And that's to teach you something. Like if you get like a 20-line question and the last line, it says there's bihilar lymphadenopathy, you know it's sarcoidosis, you have to read the question. And so you, having read the question, you're punished and you're like, fuck, I was an idiot. Now I know in the future, I should look at the last line first. And that's how you learn. So it's on purpose. It's not like, we're just being assholes. It's like, no, it serves a purpose to teach you how to go through long stems. You're 6 weeks out. Ajibola, Paul. Which NBME should you start doing? 6 weeks out is kind of too early, but to do NBMEs. But if you're like really dying to do them, you could do just 20 and 21 right now. Mac, you're asking about any plans making more Mehlmanmedical merch in the future? Like, not really. Like, we could, but it's just like not a priority. We could. We had like shirts and all this other stuff. We had shoes, backpack. We had like all this stuff. Like people like begged for merch, and then we came out with merch, and like people didn't buy it. So then we just discontinued the merch. Right? People have got big mouths. They're like, make merch. I want merch. Okay, we come out with merch, and then you don't buy the merch. So rather than focusing on like clothing, our focus is on like making content, right? It's like a D level. It's like an F level. It's an F level priority, making like merch. But maybe later we'll get there. I would outsource that. I wouldn't waste my time on that. Or hey, you had a question, CBSC. I'm doing this for 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Let me just look at the comments. You're asking, Duck, you're asking, are there plans to make Mehlmanmedical QBank into an app in the future? Yeah, that's like 2026 stuff. We can do like app related fancy stuff. We can do that. I'm going out of order now. Sadiq, you're asking, how can you get our QBank? The links are in the description. The links are below. They're in the step 1.mehlmanmedical.com, step 2.mehlmanmedical.com, step 3.mehlmanmedical.com. Do the demos. Do the demos. Do the QBank. I'm just going out of order. I'll answer one more question. Two years to prep for step 2. Ellington, you're really out in front of things, aren't you, Ellington? You got 2 years to prep for step 2. Do program directors think it's too long? No, they don't care. They don't give a fuck. No one can. That's actually a good question to end on. People don't give a fuck like about your gaps and like people worry that like if you have like discontinuity, like if you took like 9 months off or something, that they would care. Like they don't care because they realize like real life happens. Like they would prefer, this is not a joke right now. This is not for like hyperbole. I'm being dead serious. They would prefer, directors, admin, that you get like a 260 and that you like fucked off, took 2 years of absence, leave of absence, like, and you were like traveling in Vietnam and you were just like, I felt like doing nothing in Vietnam, drinking tapioca, and then you study like casually and you get your 260 versus somebody who was like doing research and they took no time off and they get like a 240. Like they don't care about how much time you took. They just look at the numbers in the end. In the end, what matters is your output. It's your results that matter ultimately. That's what they care about. All right. Guys, subscribe to the channel. Okay, subscribe to the channel and check out the QBank links in the description. Okay, the new QBanks. Step 1 .mehlmanmedical.com. Step 2 .mehlmanmedical.com. Step 3 .mehlmanmedical.com.